is the number 16, Lucas Setkamp. Riccardo Lucarelli back in the side after 14 points on Friday. He's wearing the number 18. Libero is the number 4, Thales Hoss. This Brazilian lineup completely reloaded after plenty of rotation yesterday. Novakovsky leads out Poland wearing the number 1, their second best blocker in last year's tournament. The number 7 is Artur Shelpuk, who was their top scorer last year. Grzegorz Łomacz wearing number 12 is the setter. Jakub Kokonowski, the number 15. Bartłomiej Bolac, the number 16. Bartosz Kwolek, the number 18, the 21-year-old wing spiker. Been a readjustment to the roster for Poland today. Paweł Zatorski is back as the starting libero. Having got a rest yesterday, they have replaced their secondary libero, Damian Wojtaszek, with Dawid Kornowski, who has been their top scorer over the course of the first 2 matches. Brazil's head coach Marcelo Bronkowiak says they paid the price for yesterday's rotation. But all of his big hitters back in the lineup today. Coach Vital Hayden making a couple of changes. It is a young starting lineup for Poland. 2 21-year-olds in the lineup, 2 24-year-olds as well. Still an almighty amount of talent. Doesn't get any bigger than this. 2 of the most decorated nations in the history of the sport set to lock horns. The reigning world champions Poland against the reigning Olympic champions Brazil. It's a rematch of the last 2 World Championship finals, with Poland coming out on top on both occasions. Can Brazil bounce back on Polish soil here tonight? What a big swing to start from Wallace, setting the tone. Points yesterday for him, 12 points on Friday. It is going to be challenged, the very first point of this one, as to whether that ball was in or out. Let's find out very quickly. Clearly it was in, right onto the line from Wallace, but it was struck with such force that it was so difficult to see. Brazil land the first blow. Setkamp, captain to serve. Big hit against the block from Bolac. They'll try on the other side, and squeezing it through for the score is Shelpuk. The top scorer last year in this competition with 126 points. He only scored 3 points across the first 2 matches of this weekend. Coach Vital Hayden may well give him a more prominent role here today, with Konowski being used as a libero. Lucarelli against the block for the score. Lucarelli converted 14 of his 24 attack hits on Friday. De Souza to serve for Brazil. Good reception for Poland, even better finish. Shelpuk at the double already. He was a big part of that 2018 World Championship winning side that beat Brazil in the final. He's got both of Poland's points here. Attack down the centre from Isaac Santos. It looked like it might be bypassing him on the tandem attack, but instead to Isaac Santos, who got the running set to isolate him one-on-one with Novakovsky. Lucarelli to serve. Lucarelli to serve long. These two heavyweights trading big blows early on. To try and touch it over the block. They were in a good position and they weren't going to be beaten. Well, rather than powering it, he went to try and elevate it, and he, in the end, did neither. Andy Leal. Here he goes again. Just power this time, falling down to the deck to score. But first you don't succeed, try again. Lovely slice that time. And the atmosphere is electric at the Spodek Arena. And so too was the serve of Brazil from Isaac. Drilled down to the deck, and Brazil have the lead. Isaac Santos had 6 points on Friday, 3 stuff blocks from 5 attempts, 3 kills from just 6 attack hits. He's been efficient on serve so far here as well. Although Poland will turn serve back in their favour and tie level again. To bounce off the hands of Lucas Sackkamp. Got Novakovsky on serve. Just drifting wide from a man who's won more caps than any other player. On court here, 206 coming into this tournament. The serve of the setter, Fernando Crelli. Backcourt attack, Bolats, a body shot to Fernando. Brazil survive for now. He'll set it up, big time backcourt attack from Lucarelli, somehow stopped. How on earth did Poland repel that attack? Lucarelli let go with everything, and it still wasn't enough. Into the chest of Zatorski, who stood firm. Folek finished it. Fernando, and that's a gifted finish. Lucas Sackkamp had to take the opportunity and did. Right on top of the net, one-on-one. Well served wide. There's absolutely nothing to split these two over the first 14 points. The next point will take us into the first technical timeout. Lucarelli through the block, and they can't recover, or can they? Somehow over from Poland, Lucarelli will hit them again. Back from the baseline once more, a chance to set for Kokonowski. Lucarelli, third time lucky, yes. He just kept on swinging. Brazil reached the technical timeout with the lead. Lucarelli, who was stopped so brilliantly by Zatorski on that previous point a few moments ago, was not going to be denied this time. He got it to stick at the third time of asking. Well measured cross-court set the way to Lucarelli on the wing. Blazed it past Bolad and Kokonowski. Couple of points for Lucarelli now, a couple of points for Isaac Santos for Brazil, a couple of points each for Krolek and Szelpuk for Poland. Brazil lead by just one. Szelpuk got a touch off the Brazilian block. Becomes the first to hit three. Clear touch off Wallace. Look at Kokonowski to serve. A 21-year-old middle blocker. Straight into the net. Frustratingly so for him. Goes to the bench. Receives a few words of wisdom from Coach Vital Hayden. Randy Leal up next to serve. Brazilian block in the way. Three of them close together. May well have been Isaac Santos at the heart of it. Let's have a look. No, it was coming across from the side. Lucarelli protecting that side of Santos. And Brazil starting to open up a bit of breathing room, just a bit. This one had been point by point for so long, and now Brazil lead by 3. And Poland will take the chance to try and talk things through. Poland back-to-back world champions. They haven't won a version of this competition though since 2012. It's a tournament that takes place every year. World Championship only every 4 years. The last team to win the Nations League or the World League as reigning world champions was Brazil. You have to go all the way back to 2010 for the last time that happened. Would love to be the next to do it this year. Lucarelli to attack again and to score again. He's made a fine start. Lucarelli up to 4 points. Beat the triple block that time. Serve too long from Wallace. Lomi Bolats, who only made his international debut at the start of this competition, will take the next serve. Lucarelli against the net, helped up by Fernando, and the extra touch. One touch too many. It's not a good serve reception at all from Brazil. Fernando, this time the tandem attack. Lucarelli looks like he can't miss right now. He's got 5 of Brazil's 13. He's on serve now, the number 18. To set on top of the net, Shelbuck, who scored a couple early on and then went quiet, gets back in business. Shelbuck serve all the way through, Leal couldn't handle it, Lucarelli trying to help it back too far. Poland should set here. Don't do it very capably. Leal trying to punish them for it. Zatorski helps it back up to the net. Brazilian blockers in the way, all 3 of them. They shift across to the near side, but it's drilled past the double block by Bolans. Fantastic rally back and forth. Poland looked like they had the chance, then they looked like they'd let it slip. And then they created another chance. Bit of contact of hands under the net that Poland weren't happy about. They got the point anyway. Do they get that one? They do. It might well be challenged by Brazil. Shelbuck back onto the baseline to tie the scores. Brazil weren't convinced by the call. The officials were, though. Shelbuck has already scored more points in this first set than he scored across the first 2 matches of the weekend. He's leading Poland with 5. He's tied level with the 5 of Lucarelli.
He chose the challenge and he stopped his mistake. It's a challenge.
Sure, Brazil perhaps then were trying to withdraw the challenge. It has already been accepted. I think we already know the answer to it. Well, how close is that? By the finest of margins. An ace for Artur Shelbuck. Boy, is it a good job, the officials, with the help of the technology. How on earth are you meant to see that with the naked eye? Brazil will call a timeout here. They'd opened up a gap. Now they've been pegged back.
Você já preocupou o central aqui, tá com o Wallace aberto para passear e com a pipe também, tá? Ei, eu acho que esse set, o loirinho, ele tá sem pegada para dar na pequena. Exato, então, até o posto 5, tá? Podemos fechar um pouco o posto 6 comigo, cachorro. Bora, bora.
(13-13). These two neck and neck. Izak squeezing it across. Zatorski did so well to get down to it. Frolek did so well to finish it. Look at this from Zatorski. Just keeping it alive. Really good start from the 21-year-old Bartosz Frolek. Brazil just cannot stop Poland right now. They can't stop Frolek. who's got 4 points already. Back-to-back scores, back-to-back big plays. First the spike and then the block. Lucarelli has to help it up all the way from the baseline. Leal rather. He'll go again. Yoandi Leal. Shelpuk off his knees, across to the far side. Here comes that man again. A hat-trick in quick succession from Bartosz Kwolek. Poland from 3 down, now lead by 3 at the technical timeout. Been a sizzling 6-point surge from the Poles without reply. The Brazilian flag was flying high at 10-13. Now it's 16-13 to Poland. He can take some credit for that, calling the timeout after they went behind by 3. Number 18 there can certainly take some credit. Bartosz Kwolek, he scored 3 points without reply. Leal emphatically ends the run of Artur Shelpuk on serve. Brazil's first point in 7. Only down by 2 though. Poland making a change to the lineup here. The captain Michał Kubiak coming on. And that's a foot fault from Izak Santos. Brazil can ill afford that at this moment in time. Will try and show him how it's done. Puts it short, just recovered. Poland should be able to set here. Womack to the far side, tip past the block for another point for Kwolek. Lucarelli getting down to it, but they were struggling from that point as it came behind the back of Lucas. It's a break for Brazil. Down by 3. The final stretch of this first set. Fernando to serve. Kwolek again. Well, it was Lucarelli early on that looked like he couldn't miss, and now it's Kwolek. He's very quickly surged past everybody else on the top scorer chart, up to 6 points now. Lucarelli against the net, so too Fernando Wallace had to help it over. And Brazil bailed out by the block of their captain. Just when it looked like they've been rocked back against the ropes, Lucas comes back swinging. A huge intervention. Leal serve into the net. They can't build any momentum, Brazil. Poland up by 4 again and 5 points away as Kubiak comes out and Shelpuk comes back in. 5 points for him already. He and Kwolek have combined for 11 of Poland's 20. Lucarelli. Has got hands over the net, but instead was angled wide rather than down. Lucarelli's first point in a while. He scored 5 very early on. Brazil desperate for back-to-back points, and they're going to get them here. Block from Isak. Torski fielding the serve. They had to chase it across, though, to that side of the court. Shelpuk got a good look at it, and Isak got a good piece of it. Poland are going to call a timeout, we understand. We will have a break in play, it seems.
I didn't whistle. Timeout, Poland.
As we expected, and that is what's going to happen. Poland leading by 2, 2018.
Of course, it's sad when we can stop each other away, it's better. Second is not a mover if you can do the first stand up and left or right away, but okay. We have to play. No.
Vital Heinen trying to halt the Brazilian comeback attempt. The team in yellow have been able to halve a 4-point deficit. Polish fans on their feet to try and roar their team over the first set finish line. Brazilian captain Lucas Satkamp to serve. At the top of the net, but powered through it. Against the Brazilian block, it goes from Bolats. They'll set to the far side this time for Shelpuk, who squeezes it down the block for a big Polish point. They lead by 3, and they need just 4 more. Pure Shelpuk power. Kokonowski's serve too long. Brazil not done yet here in this set, not by any stretch. Doing something special from Wallace de Souza. He's only got the 1 point so far. As Poland make a change with Bieniek coming in place of Nowakowski. It's been one of their key players this weekend. Wallace fielded by Shelpuk. They can set 2. Shelpuk on top of the net. Wonderful serve reception. Shelpuk helped this back into the perfect area for Womack to set to him. Brazil doing well to hurdle. That big serve from Bolats to close the gap to 2. Wallace, who got out the way of it. Fernando go to the bench for Brazil. And Souza comes on. As does Thiago. Shelpuk off the top of the block for another Shelpuk point. He's picked up the pace again. His 8th point of a fantastic first set. Brazil inevitably will call a timeout because they're teetering here. Poland in charge. down the final stretch of set one.
É uma barriga, é a hora que os caras estão vindo para quebrar dentro, e aí o posto 6 tem que ficar ligado. Quando ela tá longe e acelerada, é a hora que os caras estão empurrando. Aí é bloqueio e defesa, então vamos perceber a diferença disso, porque a gente tá mexendo bem no saque, galera. Precisamos amortecer em contra-ataque, beleza? Vamos!
Very animated, very vocal coach Marcelo from Kowiak, who's taken over from Renan Del Zotto for this pool because of a suspension imposed on Del Zotto. Who, I believe will miss one more match after this before returning. Brazil so far have done well enough without him winning their first two. Poland are throwing everything at them here in set one of this one. Thales Hoss helps it up to the far side against the Polish block it goes. Leal against the block on this near side as well. No way through for Brazil. And they find a way in the end off the outside of the block on the right. The gap closed to 2. Teams making changes before this next point. Brazil have to battle hard for that last point. Śliwka, who was Poland's top scorer yesterday, comes in for them. Fabio comes in for Brazil and is straight away on serve. Attack far side, another point for Bartosz Kwolek. The 21-year-old is tearing this first set up. 7 points for him now. Three set points for Poland. Bieniek serve. Big attack far side for Brazil, and boy did they need one. Souza, who coming off the bench, making a big impact, and then going straight back to the bench, along with Thiago, the setter. So Fernando back in. As to Wallace de Souza. No room for error in the first set on this serve from Fernando. And there is an error, it's too long. Polish fans can celebrate, their team have the edge in a rematch of the 2018 World Championships final. They beat Brazil 25-22 in set one. (25-22) to Poland in the first set. 3 more points for them off attack hits. 1 fewer on block, but 1 more on errors of their opponents. For the most part, a very evenly matched, powerful first set between 2 very powerful volleyball nations. I get the feeling there'll be a few twists and turns as this journey continues. find a way to stop Szelpuk and Volek. They've combined for 15 of Poland's 25 points so far. Nobody else has more than one for Poland. The rest have come from Brazilian errors. As we take a look at Poland's serve placement here. 57% down the centre, 33% across to the left side as we look, only 10% on the other side. Too dissimilar to Brazil. Both teams have, generally speaking, returned very well. Serve, only one ace for each country. Szelpuk for Poland, Isak for Brazil. Szelpuk leading the way on 8 points, 7 for the 21-year-old Volek. Brazil led by the 6 of Lucarelli, but 5 of those coming very early on before he went cold. So we can't afford to go cold here in set 2. Anything but a place on the podium. Perhaps even the highest place on the podium for these two nations, given their pedigree, quality and history, would be deemed a failure in this tournament. They know how important it is to get off to a flying start. Back-to-back wins for both, Friday and Saturday. Both desperate to finish the first weekend of 5 here in the preliminary round with 3 straight wins. Szelpuk got a touch off the block, 1-1. Szelpuk within touching distance of double figures. Fernando's right hand. Kokonowski to serve. Wallace had the defensive door slammed in his face. Wallace de Souza denied by Artur Szelpuk, who's coming out very much on top in the battle of the big scorers right now. Double figures for Szelpuk. His first point on block. Kokonowski serving into the net, 2-2. De Souza has only got 1 point so far. Just cannot get going, the man who has led Brazil through the first 2 matches. Backcourt attack, shut down by the Brazilian block this time, led by Lucas. Of ground to make up. Lucas and Leal both leaning in. Fernando's back set. Wallace! That's what he needed. He scored the very first point of the contest. That's his first since. Recovers from being denied by Szelpuk a few moments earlier. This is an interesting change for Poland because Szelpuk goes out and Tomasz Fornal, the 21-year-old who had a fine start to the first match on Friday before fading away, he comes on. Try on the other side to Fornal. Wallace down the line. Driving it right onto the line as far as Brazil are concerned. Might have other ideas. It's gone down as a Brazilian point. That's back-to-back points for Wallace de Souza. Pinball, it finds its way over from the Polish side of the net. Not for long though, as Leal attacks it on the far side. Brazil letting loose with Leal. Well, we're always going to be in trouble after that serve reception. Brazil by 4. Goes for now against the double block of Brazil. They'll try on the far side as well. The double block shifts across. Leal alongside Lucas. Brazil turning this around emphatically here in the second set. Schalper didn't get a run at it. Didn't get the point. Difficult one to hit, dropping directly out of the air. Try and generate all of the power with his swing rather than with his run-up. Brazil lead by 6 at the technical timeout. Poland's so impressive in the first set, but Brazil, turnaround they've made to win 8 of the first 10 points in this second set. Well, us getting going has been a key part of that. 2 points in quick succession for him. So we have 3 Brazilians on 3, along with Lucas and Isaac. Got 5 from Leal and 6 from Lucarelli. Can Poland recover? Are they leaving themselves too much to do here in set 2? Leal, and Poland just can't stop the bleeding. Brazil lead by 7. Cross court from Wallace, and off the side of the block from Leal. Schalper to try and shut down Brazil's momentum. Will that be enough to stem the flow? They're going to change their setter, one of their main scorers here, Poland. Womatch makes way for Fabian Jesgar, and Alexander Śliwka comes on, having scored 20 points yesterday to lead Poland to victory. Leal from the other side of the floor this time, drilling it on the diagonal into the back corner. 7 points the Brazilian lead again, and Leal now has 7 points to lead Brazil. Just about squeezed home on the far side for Poland. By that man again, Artur Schalper. He's got 12 points. Piece of both Brazilian blockers. Fernando setting it for Lucas to finish it. Brazil make sure this scoreline continues to alternate between a 6 and 7 point lead for them. Very healthy position to be in. Lucas's serve too long. Wallace, it's a long deflection. Shelpuk overhead from the baseline. A joust to the net, won by Kokonowski. Poland with back-to-back points finally break that trend of alternating scores and at least get themselves within 5. And somehow get that one after the chase back from Shelpuk. Lucarelli thought he'd scored for Brazil, but Poland digging deep on defence. Not deep enough, though, to deny Isaac Santos a towering takeoff. Poland having to dig deep to try and catch Brazil up. 6 points the lead again. Wallace. So much force behind that one. Backcourt attack, Shelpuk. Baseline recovery, Brazil. Over the top of the block. Shelpuk got his hand to it, but couldn't divert it back the right direction. That lead stretched to 7 again. Poland will call a timeout. Brazil all of a sudden looking command once more.
Kind of mistakes. We defend in the guard, we put hands, we cover the balls, we play our volleyball, not the scoreboard, yeah? That's all. If they're better in that moment, no problem. That's all, guys.
Psychological adjustments as far as Vital Heyman is concerned. To focus on the size of the task in terms of overhauling this deficit rather just on a point-by-point basis. Doing the fundamentals and seeing where it takes them. As the Souza on serve for Brazil, who lead by 7. That's a good duck from Zatorski. So difficult to read if the ball is going to go long or not. Zatorski thought he'd read it right. The decision vindicated by the official's initial call, but Brazil are going to challenge it. Let's see, did this catch a piece of the baseline or not? No, it didn't. Zatorski did make the right call, and so too did the officials. Schlifka next to serve. 6 points off the bench in game 1, as well as his team high 20 points from the start yesterday. Fernando to tip it. Isaac to try and finish it, but couldn't get it over. Back-to-back Poland scores. It's a 5-point gap again. Bolad's to come in place of Fabian Jeska. Serve straight into the net from Schlifka. So the setter Womack will come back in with a message from the bench. Schlifka will go out. Boylan's to hit it. Was further back than he wanted to be. He'll attack this one against the Brazilian block again. Kokonowski off the top of the block. Brazil a chance to set with Fernando. The snapshot from Isak. They faked the set across to the hitter on the far side, but Isak was in the way to take it on earlier than Poland expected. They couldn't get the block in position in time. Every time Poland threatened to close the gap, Brazil open it up again. Backcourt attack, Wallace planted perfectly across to the far side of the floor. Brazil hurtling into the second technical timeout of the second set with an 8-point lead. Leão is one of the main protagonists of this Brazilian turnaround. Joint top scorer now with 7 points alongside the 7 of Lucarelli, but most of Lucarelli's came early on. Most of Leão's have come in this second set. 5 of them off attack hits and a couple of stuff blocks as well for Brazil's number 9. Continue to spread their scoring around though. 7 each for Lucarelli and Leão, 5 for Isak, 4 for Wallace and Lucas. Still for Poland, aside from Szelpuk and Folek, nobody else has scored more than 1 point. Brazil will serve with Ricardo Lucarelli. Leading by 8 points here as they look to tie this match at 1-1. Szelpuk serving up a facial from the 3-meter line. What a finish that was from Poland's number 7. Who's got 14 points now. He's double either of Brazil's top scorers. But Poland have been far more reliant on he and Folek. Brazil getting more hitters involved and Wallace becoming more and more involved now. He's up to 5. The lead is back up to 8. Back set from Fernando, who's doing such a good job of facilitating all of those offensive weapons around him. Isak with a powerful serve. They did so well to deal with it, Poland. And Szelpuk scores again. It's either him or nobody at the moment. Kokonowski to serve. Covered on the corner. Torres Hoss over the top. A touch of the block from Leão. Another point for him. Torres measuring that to perfection from just off the far corner of the court back to the corner near the net. It was pinpoint for Leão to provide the finish. And it was pure power from Boylan's. Brazil 7 points away from winning the set, 7 points ahead. It would take an almighty Polish effort to recover this second set here, but they're not going to give up on it. Bolat's on serve now. Fernando setting for Lucas, who misfired. Marcelo Roncovian making sure that his Brazil team maintain their focus. Lucas that time takes it. A similar set from Fernando. The Polish coach Vital Heinen saying just play point by point, don't look at the scoreboard, and it's a similar situation for Brazil as well, because they don't want to take their foot off the gas with this healthy lead here. Against a team like Poland, that could yet cost them. A serve from Shelpuk that goes all the way through. A tame reception from Brazil. And Shelpuk keeps on scoring, and Poland keep on believing. Brazil call a timeout. Still a significant Brazilian lead, but certainly not as significant as it has been. Led by 8 points here. Not too long ago in this set, it's down to 5. Shelpuk on serve, this time retrieved. Lucarelli forced it over, and Poland will miss an opportunity that seemed to be arising there. Zatorski unable to keep it alive after Lucarelli changed his shot. Got in the way of Shelpuk. That alleviates some of the pressure that had been building on Brazil. Lads, bang, wide of the mark though. Went for the line drive, he couldn't find the line. There's a foot fault, that's why. Maybe he did find the line, but he'd stepped on the 3-meter line. Brazil looking comfortable again. Lucarelli with the body shot back to Bolats. 8 points for him now. Brazil only 3 points away from taking this second set and tying the match at 1-1. It's about as quiet as this Katowice crowd has been. Fernando did well to get down to it on the 3-meter line. Well asked to try and touch it past the block with precision as well. A touch of finesse from Brazil's number 8. Brazil only a couple of points off. Well, that's up to 7. Now their third top scorer. Helped up off the baseline. Brazil can set Fernando, plenty of options. One of them was Wallace, who stopped in the backcourt. The Brazilian block in the way, though, standing tall. They have opened up a huge 10-point lead. And it's a case now of when and not if in this second set for Brazil. Gets the block and out of bounds. Folek gets his first point in some time. He's up to 8 now, second top scorer for Poland. Another set point for Brazil. Novakovsky's serve. Fernando's set. Brazil's point. Brazil set by 10 points as well. A statement scoreline. After Poland had taken the first set, Brazil tie the match up at 1 set apiece. Brazil taking the second set by 10 points, 25-15 in a time of 26 minutes. A huge differential in terms of those attack hits, 9 extra points for them at the main difference, but 4 stuffed blocks as well to Poland's 2. Brazil dominant in set 2. 7 for Wallace and 5 each for Lucas and Isak. Brazil responded superbly to losing set 1. Now it's Poland's turn to generate a response. good start. A wayward swing from Lucas. Womack, their setter, serving. Serving too long, so 1-1. One each in sets, one each in points here in the third. Pivotal third set. Ruza will be left with the challenge of having to win 2 sets in a row to win the match, to stay unbeaten at this tournament. At the centre, and Poland ahead again. He's on to 2 points. Poland has 2. And it's all the way up to Volleyball with 8 and Shelper with 15. We will want other players involved in this third set, that's for sure. Fernando back set. Lucas stopped. Off the top of the 3 Brazilian blockers, Fernando to set again, back set, tandem attack coming in was Leal. Poland not budging an inch right now, although they can't finish the job. Captain Michal Kubiak against the net. Big backcourt explosion from Volleyball. 9 points for him now. Perfect takeoff, and he absolutely fired it through the big seam. Volkanovski's serve long. Brazil have served back. Still just 1 ace all game long for Brazil. Schlifke able to score for the first time. 20 points on this court yesterday, gets his first of today off the shoulder of Lucarelli. He's on serve now as well. Fernando can set, perfect position to do so again. Perfect finish from Wallace. It all starts with the serve reception. Right back onto the net. So Fernando doesn't have to do much, but pick out the right option. These two teams are trading points at the start of this third set. Nobody quite able to take the set by the scruff of the neck just yet. Fernando with the tip over the top this time. Lucarelli up to Fernando, who can set back to Lucarelli. Torski right behind it. Pushed over by Bieniek. Wallace to strike one into the net. And now Poland have ended that trend of point by point. They're up by 2. Wallace had been building real momentum until that point. Kubiak, Poland's captain, to serve next. Fired it way too long. Lucarelli to serve for Brazil. 8 points so far. Lovely serve as well. And Slivka, Brazil can set from the 3-meter line with Fernando Wallace. Knocking the opposition back to the baseline, they have to help it over. Fernando can set right on top of the net this time for Leal, who scores. Brazil level the playing field at 6-6. Kept on knocking Poland back. Womack doing everything he could. From the lens of the camera to try and recover it, but to no avail. Oh, touched over the top of the double block by Krolek, who is now up to double digits with 10. Clever finish and a clinical one as well. Just caught the block on the way down. They were anticipating the big hit. Slight hesitation making all the difference. Isak stopped on top of the net, and so too was Krolek by the Brazilian block. 7-7, the next point will take us into the technical timeout. Who's going to have the lead? Isak was denied on a big attack hit earlier in the rally, made amends with the block. Brazilian blockers there again. It was Lucas at the centre. Kubiak into the net. So Brazil into the technical timeout with the edge, 8-7. Both teams well supported here. Of course, those in bright Brazilian yellow, drowned out by a sea of red and white, and the Spodek Arena in the south of Poland. Those yellow jerseys are always easy to pick out from a big crowd, though. It's been a very bright Brazilian performance so far, matching Poland every step of the way. Leal had to readjust his body shape on the 3-meter line, but still able to generate such power. Pound for pound, he's probably the most powerful hitter on court. He's making it count. Lucarelli recovering overhead. That's why Leal had to take it on from the awkward position. Straight into the net on the serve, though. Power doesn't always count for everything. Fernando to set, this time Lucas gets it to squeeze inside of the block. Such was the speed of the attack. They didn't have the opportunity, Poland, to get in the position they wanted quick enough. Brazil by 2, 10-8 here in the pivotal third set. Fernando to serve again. Panowski. Fernando sets it, Lucarelli helps it over from the 3-meter line, recovered by Slivka. Digs that one out somehow. Off the top of the Polish block on the far side. They can set on top of the net, and they can win the point as well. The most significant moment of that rally, the defense of Alexander Śliwka here. Tremendous diligence to get down to it. Means a lot all around this arena. To coach, players and supporters. Krolek on serve. Straight into the net. Been just slightly behind for the vast majority of this third set, Poland. Covered off his knees by Maiki, the Brazilian libero. Off the head of the captain, Lucas Leal. Even more difficult for him to use that power from that position, arching his back behind the 3-meter line. Really difficult hit to take. Śliwka again doing a good job at the net this time on defense. Getting his hand up and forcing it off the head of Lucas, which forced Brazil back. Lucas makes amends very quickly. Brazil up by 2 again. Polish points down the line. Good serve reception that time from Krolek. Set right up there for Bieniek, who scores his first point. Lucarelli to lash one to the far side of the floor. Even spread of points from Brazil continues. Lucarelli on to 9, only behind Leal, who's got 11. Wallace has 8, Lucas has 7, Music has 5. Poland answer back with the captain Kubiak. Two continue to trade point for point. As Poland trades player for player here. Śliwka and Womack going out. That's Jeska coming in. Fernando helps it up. Lucarelli helps it over with power. Double figures for Lucarelli now. Between the arms of Poland and onto the shoulder of Jeska. Neither nation can hold serve at all in this third set. Can Brazil change that with Lucarelli? Yes, they can. Isak, the towering presence of the net, enough to put Bolad's off. With Leal as well there. Bolad's could only strike the net. Poland having gone behind by 3 for the first time in set 3. We'll talk things through here in a timeout. already about the need for whichever team loses this set to win back-to-back sets to win the match. It's not just that, but whichever team loses this one knows they can only take a maximum of 2 points from the fixture. Because if it's a 5-set win, it's 2 points to the winner. A 3- or 4-set win is 3 points. So both teams will be desperate for this third set to give them the opportunity of taking maximum points in the standings. Bucarelli long with the serve. Poland back within 2. Brazil 1 point away from the technical timeout. Bieniek to serve. Just 1 point so far since coming in off the bench for the number 20. At 16 points on Friday and then 10 points yesterday. Bieniek back to the corner. There's his second point of today. Just what Poland needed. Bieniek ace at over 100k. And Brazil now will call a timeout.
As últimas tem acompanhado o central e a base tem ajudado. Tá? Tem ajudado. Até o Slivka estava ajudando. Na situação de sobreposição ele também. Vai vir rasgando a paralela ou até o lance da maior para trás. Tá? Ei, ei, vamos segurar. Vai ter risco agora. Tá? E atenção, você e Lucão, a necessidade que os caras estão de rodar na primeira bola. Ah, 3. Tá? Vamos.
The technical timeout comes when the leading team hits 16 points. It's a real illustration of how significant this pivotal third set is, that both head coaches use one of their own timeouts just before that point. So we are going to have 3 timeouts in quick succession, but both desperate to get messages across. Leal against the Polish block. Kokonowski and Boland celebrating. And Poland tie level at 15. Looks like Boland's with the big touch, yeah, his left hand. And that stops a run of 3 in a row for Poland. Zizak Santos takes Brazil into that technical timeout with the slenderest of leads.
If you come back to the front, push it forward. Push on Leal. Select for sure for you. You make one mistake, you can break. If you push on Leal.
Exatamente, exatamente. Vem acelerado o passe, dá conforto. Nessa altura o cara não vai tocar em você.
These Polish fans know how to put on a party when they host this sport in their country. Fantastic atmosphere every time their team have taken to the court across the weekend. And, this is the perfect way to finish against their nemesis, Brazil, who they've beaten in the last 2 World Championship finals. So much to entertain and to provide smiles to faces, even when the game is in a timeout. That might have wiped a few of those smiles off, a few of those faces. The big block from Lucas. Brazil by 2. Zach Santos on serve. Leal to strike it from the 3-meter line, too hot to handle down the line. Brazil opening up a little gap again. After Poland had scored 3 without reply, Brazil have answered back by doing the same. Stop from Zatorski. Brazil will still come out on top, or will they? No. They've given the point to Poland. Pavel Zatorski, serve reception becomes important. There's a fault for Brazil touching the net. Those three blockers. Slenderest of margins. The difference between a 2 and 4 point lead. At this stage of this set, that is hugely significant. Zatorski helps it up. Volleyball helps it long. Brazil back up by 3. Match across to the far side. Wallace keeps it up off the net. He has to try and help it over past the triple block. Only just hit from the 3-meter line. Too long though. Brazil are up by 4 here as they hit the 20-point mark. That puts Poland in real trouble. Kubiak, the captain, yet to find form on those attack hits today, and Poland take a timeout.
But we go. We have to play. That we do. Just go on, guys. Like I said, it's not the scoreboard. It's the way of playing. Go on, defending, play again, go. Know how to play tactically, know to defend. If he spikes different ways, it's my fault. That's what we do. Just go on.
It's a tough set to take for those dressed in red and white all around this arena tonight. Still believe in their team's ability, though, to take this one the distance, even if they can't win this set. Of course, both of these teams came out on top in 5-setters yesterday. It's a Polish point, just vital one. Couldn't see them coming back from a 5-point deficit at this stage. Instead it's 3. Sent onto the antenna. Volleyball to serve. Wallace gets the point. The block getting a strong piece of it, but diverting it out of bounds. The right forearm of Slivka. Brazil 4 points ahead and 4 points away. Kokonowski down with force and fizz. His 4th point. Only the 3rd Polish player to get past 3 points. To put that in context, Brazil have had 5 players on 6 points or more. Here's one of them, Lucarelli. Body shot to the opponent. Brazil point. Lucarelli just put too much behind it for Poland to deal with. 12 points for him to tie level with Leal as Brazil's top scorer. Poland made a couple of changes and change back now as well. Looks like we've got a challenge. No, we haven't. Brazil serve up by 4. To the net from Lucas. Slivka to serve with little to no room for error. The 1 point for him so far. And he does serve up an error. Brazil now within touching distance of this all-important set 3. Souza to serve. Saved on the baseline. Has to be helped over by Wallace from deep. Wasn't able to even do that. Can't see it on your picture, actually coming off the underside of the giant screen. Would have been in real trouble anyway had it landed on the Polish side of the floor. Bucarelli putting things right for them. And now 4 set points here in the third for Brazil as Alan and Thiago come in. Wallace and Fernando go to the bench. We have Bucarelli, their leading scorer, on serve here. Dug out and returned with interest by Śliwka to keep Poland alive in the third. The first of those 4 set points thwarted. Brazil making those 2 changes back onto the floor here. With instructions from the bench to try and finish Poland off. Bieniek to serve for the Poles. And what a serve as well to sting the hands of Leal. He'll try and touch it over still. Poland to set from the 3-meter line against the body of the libero. Leal. The rally will go on. Jeska's back set. There's a fault though. Now Brazil will get the point, and Brazil will take the set. And boy, have they bounced back now with back-to-back sets after losing the first. Brazil will take the lead for the first time in this monster matchup by 2-1. Brazil taking the third set, 25-21 in exactly half an hour. Taking a 2-1 lead, a couple of extra points from attack hits, 1 more block, 1 less on serve. They've still only served 1 ace through the whole match. They did get a couple of extra points though off errors of their opponents. Brazil going down 22-25 in the first set. They've responded now to win back-to-back sets and get themselves ahead. Let's have a look at their set of contact points through the course of the match. This is in set 1. 62% close to the net, 38% in the middle zone. Is still very good there. 0% behind the 3-meter line even in set 2. That's a similar story, a slightly higher percent in the green zone, but very consistent despite losing that first set. But then look at the improvement in set 3. That is profound, 73% in the green zone. That is an exceptional number. Brazil winning that set 25-21 to take a 2-1 lead. Poland now facing the prospect of a must-win 4th set to maintain their unbeaten start to the 2019 Volleyball Nations League. Hayden's team can no longer take maximum points from this matchup. Their best hope is to force a 5th set. Wallace and Leal leading Brazil with 12 points apiece. Lucarelli, Leal rather, Wallace just behind those two. Lucas has 8, Izak has 6. Poland, 15 for Szelbuck, 11 for Kvolek. And you have to go all the way to Kokonowski on 4 as their 3rd leading scorer. And there he is, right on cue, Kokonowski, to take his tally to 5. Perfect start for Poland to a set they have to win. Was wild and wayward from Śliwka. So Brazil on the board to level up set 4. Remember, Brazil had a 2-1 lead yesterday against Australia and lost set 4 before winning set 5. Kubiak squeezes that one through for just his 2nd point. He's really struggled to find his flow since coming in off the bench. Poland were in this position yesterday against the USA, down 2-1. They won their set 4 and then won the decider as well. And they do that on consecutive nights, Poland, here on this court on home soil. Kokonowski's serve into the net ties us up at 2-2. We take the lead through Bieniek. His 3rd point. Nudging it to the side of Lucas, got the isolation opportunity one-on-one. Wallace, hard to see it, let alone stop it, as Wallace hits double figures emphatically. The 3rd Brazilian to reach that milestone. Lucas's serve long, Poland back ahead. This is how we started off in the previous set as well, blow for blow, point for point. Just feeling each other out before somebody can establish a real foothold in the set. Wallace has to help it back across to Lucarelli and did so admirably, and what a point that is for Brazil. Such was the power in the serve from Poland for Lucarelli to stop it. to then get back on the end of it from Thales and finish it right onto the line was perfect. Some Brazilian brilliance. And Poland fire wide of the line, although Śliwka seems to think there was a touch on it, and they will challenge. Rather than a block touch, he's saying the ball was in on the sideline. So let's find out if it was. It was absolutely in from Śliwka. Polish point. He knew it. Śliwka up to 3. Poland ahead. Isak. A Brazilian battering ram. Isak Santos stretching every fibre of that 2m8 frame to get up to 3m32. Corelli's serve was a wicked one, but well dealt with. Krolek stopped at the net. He'll go again, but can't stretch his fingertips long enough. Brazil overtake Poland in set 4. Corelli, the leading scorer for the team in yellow with those 13. Contact to it on serve though. Still just the one ace for Brazil through the entirety of the first 3 and a bit sets. Came from Isak early on. Poland have had 3. There goes Isak again. Off the 3-meter line set from Fernando. Tall and lengthy, but he's got such spring in those heels as well, Isak Santos. And the serve lands in on the baseline as well. There is their second ace, right on cue, and it's that man again who got there first early on in the match. Brazil 8-6 ahead at the technical timeout. Corelli led Brazil to victory over the USA with 14 points on Friday. Got a rest yesterday and he's back fit and firing today, leading them with 13 points already, 12 of which have come of those lethal attack hits. One stuff block as well for the number 18. Brazilians to hit double digits. Polish fans determined to stay late again tonight. As was the case last night when their team came from behind from this position to win. Big Brazilian block though to open up a 3-point gap in their favour. Two of them in position in the way, Leal alongside his captain. get that one to close the gap to 2. Slivka just touching it to the side of Fernando. Got a touch off him, look, off those fingers. And now it's the Polish block working in tandem over on the far side. They close the gap to 1. And those big stuff blocks, huge momentum generators. The left hand of Jakub Kokonowski. Fernando can set right on the net. Backcourt attack from Wallace. And too much power for Poland to deal with. Fernando's serve was dipping and spinning wickedly. Slivka gets the point for Poland. He's come to the fore now. 5 points for Alexander Slivka. Szelpuk ready to come back in. After a bit of a break, Poland's leading scorer takes to the floor again. Points so far, including 2 aces. Leal is just pure power. 14 for him to lead Brazil. Szelpuk back out. Serve reception, even better block though from Lucas. Down the centre. Brazil just holding Poland at arm's length right now. Timeout for the hosts.
If we fly away, he's just jumping there, so we should fly away and go back. Yeah, or we have to be sure that we're far enough, but you know, he's coming. I see 2-3 times in like this. He's from there and jumping there, so that's all. Jeszcze raz wyżej jest. And then you can leave it over again.
So much comes down to mentality, so much comes down to tactics, but so much, of course, at this stage now as well comes down to fatigue and conditioning, because these are 2 teams that played for nearly 3 hours less than 24 hours ago. Brazilian block, far side to extend their lead to 4. They're starting to pull away at the midway point of the 4th set. Lucarelli with his 2nd stuff of the match. Brazil posing Poland with plenty of questions. And the home team need to quickly figure out the answers. Lucarelli has had most of the answers all night long. Up to 15 points. A big block followed by a big hit. And another big blow to Poland. What a win this would be for Marcelo Frankowiak and his team if they could finish the job on Polish soil. And they've given themselves a fantastic chance of doing so. Bartosz Kwolek beaten by the power and the pace of the serve. Mr. Power himself again, Yoandy Leal. Timeout Poland.
Good. Now in one rotation we give 3-4 points away. That's a pity. So side on and play, guys. That's just for them play. I will go.
Brazil came out on top by 3-1 when these two met in this competition a year ago. That's the aim for them again here. But perhaps the greater motivation is to get payback for the World Championship final that they lost last year to Poland in straight sets. Well on course for doing that. Another strong serve from Leal. Gives them the chance. They required their libero to bail them out, though. Maiki doing so well to reach it. Poland get the point. Surviving Leal's serve. The point they so desperately needed. Śliwka with the block, and then Leal had to try and set. Completely misjudged it. One match goes out, Rzeczka in for Poland, a change of setter. Oh, what a serve that is from Śliwka to catch Brazil napping. Look at the technique on this one. Fingertip swerve and dip to the sideline. Just 52 kilometers per hour, but it deceived Leal. And Brazil will call a timeout now.
Zona dos 3 metros, ele pega. Beleza? Dá confiança pra ele nisso aí. Bora, ei! Atenção, variação de salto, tá? Essa centralização mais que puder. Você tem todas nessas. Bora.
Back-to-back points for Poland to get them back in contention. Brazil looked in command heading into the second technical timeout, but they've still not got there yet. Both teams have taken a recent timeout. As this turns into a big, physical, powerful game of volleyball chess. Śliwka helps it over. Fernando saves it. Up by Thales. The joust on the far side. It's going to be a Polish point. Their third in a row. Lucarelli losing out. And Brazil's 6-point lead has been cut in half. (59) was the score. 15-12 now. Brazil remain 1 point away from that technical timeout. Just can't seem to get there. Can they now? Not yet. Double pancake down on the floor, but they can't keep it alive, short-handed off the net. Brazil into the technical timeout with a 4-point lead.
Tá sendo com jeito. A gente tem que resolver essa coisa simples, ok? Bora!
Emotions at a high as these two big hitters continue to trade blows, enjoyed by fans of all ages. Those headphones absolutely required in this atmosphere. Fans trying to get right behind their team to give them a second win as they look to come back in a fourth set that they have to win. Brazil leads 16-12 off the back of the technical timeout, looking to secure a 3-1 win. Fornell shut down, having just come into the game. And he found a big yellow wall in front of him. Well, that's the block. The 21-year-old wearing the number 21 stopped. And a fault receiving the ball for Poland as well. Slipping away from them as Brazil open up a 6-point lead again. 3 straight for them now, after Poland had scored each of the previous 3. That brings that particular run to an end as Lucas can only serve into the net. Fernando to set right on top of the net, back to Wallace. Another point for him. Another step forward for Brazil towards a huge win. Wallace ties level with Leal and Lucarelli on 15 points. Talk about spreading them around. Brazil have had so many step up to the plate against the defending world champions, 4 in double figures. It's going to be a Polish point. Now Fernando is saying that there was a fault at the centre of the court. Brazil not letting anything slide. They're in a healthy position, but they know it could so quickly change. And it then went down, a little hurt. Now he stepped under the net and had to try and avoid it. Fernando was the closest to it, watching on for Brazil. Trying to avoid the net. Come out of it a little worse for wear, but seems to be moving okay now. We're going to have a look at the video by the looks of it here. Poland need each and every point they can get at this stage to try and provide the platform to make their big push. And there is a fault. Spotted by the officials on the video as Bieniek tried to avoid the underside of the net. Wallace to serve, and Brazil leading convincingly at the moment by 7, 20-13. That's exactly what Poland required from Kvolek. How can they build off that on their own serve? Somebody's got to put a run together sooner rather than later. As Kvolek blazes that one down the big seam in the double block. Need a few consecutive points to get the fans on their feet and right behind them to plant the seed of doubt in the Brazilian minds. Good strong serve. Torres to retrieve it by the bench. Poland to hit it over close to the net, recovered low down by Wallace. Far side Lucarelli. It's a long rally. Who's going to come out on top? It's Brazil. Poland misjudging it at the net. It's not quite worked out for them the way they wanted it to in this set. They've been far from at their best, but you have to give Brazil great credit for making life so tough for them. Brazil helping it over with Lucarelli, and then Poland losing it on their side of the net. And Brazil are close to completing the job, just 3 points away. 8 ahead. They have vastly outscored Poland through the whole of the match. 94 points to 75 altogether as we approach the 2-hour mark. 22-14 here in the fourth set. Volek against the block. And again over the top of the block this time. Far side layout, kept alive by Zatorski. Into the big frame of Isak though from Kubiak. Although it may well have been given the other way here. There's a Polish point. Badly, he needed that one overturned when it looked as though it was going to be a Brazilian block. A touch on the top of the net from Isak Santos. Keeping Poland's faint hopes alive. Down by 7. Brazil only 3 points away. Now only 2 away. Poland could ill afford a serve like that. Out comes Fornal, who hasn't been able to get any kind of momentum since a wonderful start on this court on Friday on his international debut. Just a score to delay now what seems the inevitable here. Brazil 2 points away from claiming a 3-1 win and maximum points in the standings again. Would make it 8 points from a possible 9 for them over the course of a weekend that could have been very difficult, including matches with Poland and the USA. Remarkably, it's Australia who've forced them the furthest down to the wire. Full 5 sets yesterday. Brazil have 8 match points. Fernando into the net. One of those match points goes begging. Error on the serve of Kokonowski. Brazil have payback against Poland in a rematch of last year's World Championship final. The team in the golden jerseys who were stopped from winning the gold at that tournament have come back strong, and they have beaten Poland by 3 sets to 1 to claim maximum points here and to remain unbeaten at the 2019 Volleyball Nations League. This is how it ended. A quick hit from the captain, Lucas. Now Brazil ever so strong to win on the road in Katowice. Poland taste defeat for the first time here. Thoroughly deserved from the Brazilians, especially after going down in the first set. What a recovery to win the second, third and fourth. And fairly convincingly as well. 25-15 in the second, 25-21 in the third, 25-17 in the fourth. You hear the message from Coach Vital Heinen of Poland to go and thank the fans here, who have been superb all weekend long. Not the ending they wanted, certainly the ending on the weekend that Brazil wanted, 3-1. And 97-78 on points overall. You cannot deny they deserved the win here. Equal on opposition errors, but blocks they were dominant, more than double the number of Poland, and 12 more points on attack hits, one extra ace on serve as well for Brazil. 3 wins from 3 for Brazil. So we take a final check on the results across the weekend here on week 1 of the 5 weeks of preliminary action in the 2019 Volleyball Nations League. We'll have a look, if we can, at the full set of results. Brazil only dropping a point in that 3-2 win against Australia yesterday. Maximum points from the other 2. Back-to-back wins to start for Poland before losing out to Brazil here in the final match earlier today. The USA beat Australia. It's been a pleasure having your company here. Thank you for being a part of the game.